11 days after I filed for divorce, my 9-year-old daughter looked at me with trembling eyes and whispered something that made my heart stop. Her mother had told her to say that I had hurt her. Then came the words I will never forget. Say it and nothing happens to Daddy. I was 40 years old when my marriage collapsed, but that day I felt older than any man should ever feel. My name is Daniel Carter, and for 12 years I had worked, sacrificed, and built a home that I believed would protect my daughter from the ugliness of the world. I never imagined the danger would come from inside that home. My wife, Laura, wanted the divorce to go her way, and suddenly accusations appeared that I could barely recognize as my own life. In court, my daughter sat quietly beside her mother. She was too young to understand what divorce could do to a family. She only understood that the adults she loved were asking her to choose sides. For weeks, I was treated like a stranger. My calls were ignored. My daughter was kept away from me. And every night I returned to an empty apartment where the silence felt louder than any argument we had ever had. Then one afternoon, my attorney told me something that changed everything. My daughter had spoken privately with a court-appointed professional. She had not repeated the story her mother wanted her to tell. Instead, she had asked one heartbreaking question. If I tell the truth, will Daddy disappear forever? That sentence became the beginning of the truth. The court eventually recognized that my daughter had been placed under terrible emotional pressure. The accusations against me collapsed. The divorce was finalized, and I walked away from Laura without revenge. At least that is what everyone thought. I focused on raising my daughter. I never taught her to hate her mother. I never poisoned her heart with my anger. I simply told her one thing. When you are old enough to understand everything, I will tell you the truth. But until then you deserve to be a child. Years passed. My daughter grew into a strong young woman. She went to college, built her career, and eventually started a family of her own. For 26 years, I carried the pain quietly. Then one evening, my daughter came to my house carrying an old box. She placed it on the table and looked at me with tears in her eyes. Inside were documents from the divorce case. There were notes from counselors, court records, and a letter she had written when she was 9. She had never given it to anyone. She had written, "Mommy told me what to say, but Daddy never heard me." My daughter looked at me and said, "Dad, I spent 26 years wondering why you never fought back against Mom." I smiled subtly and answered, "Because fighting her would have meant making you fight her too." She cried. Then she told me she had recently confronted her mother. Laura had denied everything at first, but when my daughter showed her the old letter, the denial disappeared. For the first time, Laura admitted what she had done. She admitted that she had used her own child to protect her version of the story. My daughter did not scream. She did not insult her. She simply said, "You taught me that love meant choosing a side, but Dad taught me that love means protecting someone even when they cannot protect themselves." That was the revenge I never planned. I did not destroy Laura. I did not expose her publicly. I did not take anything from her. I simply lived long enough for the truth to speak for itself. And sometimes the most powerful revenge is not making someone suffer. It is surviving their lives without becoming the person they accused you of being. 26 years later, my daughter finally knew the truth. And that was worth more to me than any courtroom victory could ever be.